And welcome to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. It is a Tuesday.
You're trying to screw with me a bit.
Huh?
You're waiting for me to go.
What?
You're trying to mess with me.
Oh, well, what's new?
I was like, am I supposed to, that's my cue. That's my cue for update.
Well, you should know emphatically that it's not a Wednesday.
Emphatically?
Wednesday.
You know, I was telling people, I didn't sleep I slept. I was asleep, and at 11:30, a driver pulled up at our house. 11:30 at night, people.
A driver?
A driver
What
that
do you
was
mean,
delivering
a
a package.
Oh, package driver? No way.
At 11:30 at night.
They were
to our house to deliver.
They're going to rob you at 11 o'clock at night.
Well, they had a package. They left the package like it should be, but it was like, you have no idea. I mean, I have a German Shepherd. And a gun. You know, come on.
Was he knocking on the door?
No, he just left it. But we know. I mean, our security camera will go off because someone's popped up there. Mm-hmm. But Richard heard it and saw lights, and it was 11:30 at night. That just blows me away.
Those guys work that late?
Well, this one was.
Wow.
I don't know.
You don't know
sometimes I don't think they pick up till Yellville. Till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something, you know, and I guess they're trying to get their they should cut off at 10, 9.
With Amazon, they have their own fleet now.
Yes.
I guess it's gotten really competitive.
You
think of all those packages that were being picked up by either USPS or
UPS
or FedEx.
Yeah.
Now you got Amazon out there delivering their own stuff.
Well, and this wasn't even from Amazon, but it went through that Yellville sorting thing or whatever it is, distribution center in Yellville. That when you order something and they say it's shipped, it's either like UPS or USP, you know, those things, or it says TBA. That means it's coming through Yellville. Yeah. That means it's coming through Yellville.
Okay.
And it will be an independent contractor person.
So a couple guys and their coon dog brought it last night.
I don't know.
Because they probably went coon hunting. That's when you go coon hunting.
He doesn't need to be coon hunting. Well, he can coon hunt when he wants, but don't come to my house at 11:30 at night. Good
Was
grief.
the package clean? Pretty clean? There wasn't no coon dog
excrement on it?
Yeah.
No, it was fine.
We went camping last year. Was it? It may have been a couple of years ago. Kelly and I went out to this isolated spot.
Yes, that was last year.
Yeah, and we got out there, and it was heaven. It was the end of the road. Mm-hmm. Nobody was there, and then about 1 or 2 in the morning, here comes a truck, and you hear these coon dogs barking, and the dogs are getting closer and closer and closer. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Somebody escaped from prison, and they're out here with bloodhounds, you know. But it was a couple guys out coon hunting. Or something hunting. And they came right up to we have a tent in the back of the truck.
Right.
So they come up right up to the truck, and they were sitting there talking, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Do they not think somebody's in there?
They didn't care, apparently.
That's crazy. I would be so conscientious.
Yeah.
But
wow. I had all kinds of protection with me. It was me and Kelly and Smith and Wesson. Anyway.
Okay.
When it gets dark, I mean, I'm not so afraid of animals. I'm afraid of people.
People can,
yeah.
They can be packing.
They can just be out of their minds,
and they can be out of their mind. You've got a shotgun because you're coon hunting. Just think, there's bad things that could happen.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about how to have fun and save money.
You want to? Oh, wow! right out of the blue.
It's like, get up and hit the ground running.
Okay, what prompted that there, Miss Ann?
Runaway mountain coaster. You know, we've talked about the mountain coaster before.
Ghost Coast, same thing.
It was Ghost Coaster back around Halloween.
Yeah.
But it's and I drove by that the other day. That's quite an outfit. Runaway mountain coaster, though, is maximizing your fun and value for this spring. You can go and buy one, get one free tickets. It's a perfect opportunity. Ooh. Spring breaks, you know.
This is a perfect time to impress a date. I'll spring for it, baby. No problem. Buy one and get her in free.
Cheap. You're cheap. Go to runwaybranson.com/spring break for all the details about that.
Okay.
It's fun. It's relaxing. I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't done it to see if it's relaxing or
Yeah.
not. It might be a little scary
I bet
to
it
me.
is once you get down to the bottom of the hill.
Well, sure. Get all the details and purchase your buy one, get one free tickets at runwaybranson.com/spring break.
And they are
Some
show-
restrictions that do apply.
Okay, they are a show sponsor and
No,
will be.
they're not our show sponsor.
Oh, they're not.
No, we're just
Oh,
no.
this is a kind of a like we like you type of
Exact.
thing.
Well, you know,
We like you.
we like you. Whatever. We're just trying to promote this awesome deal.
Okay.
So,
All right.
okay.
Okay.
We'll talk about our show sponsor tomorrow because we do have one.
We yeah.
So we'll talk.
We're
about
kind of
that
happy
tomorrow.
about that.
Yeah, we are.
That means that
Makes us
we
feel
get
important.
we get free drinks here at the station now.
We do.
We get water.
And coffee. Coffee if it's made.
Oh, today's going to be quite sunny with a high near 80
That's
degrees.
my jam right there, people.
There you go. And then
actually,
what?
I got hot yesterday choring.
Okay.
That was like, what happened?
Did you
We've
have
had
do you have a parka on?
no, but I did have sweatpants on, which was a big
See?
mistake.
That's why you got hot
Anyway,
and sweaty.
sorry.
It's going to be clear tonight, low 51 degrees, and then Wednesday, sunny with a high near 79 degrees, almost 80. You could say it's a cookie cutter day. Wednesday night, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 52 degrees. Chance of precipitation is set at 50%. And then Thursday, sunny with a high near 78 degrees. Thursday night, 55 for the overnight low. And then Friday, let you do Friday.
40% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 p.m. Sunny with a high of 77. Breezy. Winds could gust up to 35 miles per hour. Friday night, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Mostly clear with a low of 50. Again, breezy. Sunday, and nope, we're not doing that. Mostly sunny on Saturday with a high of 66. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low of 39. Sunday is a high of 60. Low of 37, and Monday's a high of 70. I was going to try to lump all those in,
Yeah.
and there was just too many varied temperatures. Come on.
70 and 60.
Need some consistency.
Yeah. Well, it's
getting there.
It's getting there.
Y'all, there's a warm-up trend. I keep
Yeah.
waiting for the... You know, my jonquils have bloomed,
Your
some
jonquils?
of them. Yeah.
Your
And probably
jonquils
the
have bloomed?
crocuses. I've seen pictures of people's crocuses that are bloomed, and usually we get a cold snap that just wonk,
Now knocks them out.
knocks them out. But they keep coming up.
Those jonquils are pretty hard.
They're not
They're hardy.
jonquils.
I think the breed that I have are jonquils.
Only you. You out of all the bazillion people in the world, you grow jonquils.
Yeah, well, you know, there's certain things that I say that I just read them differently.
Oh, just
Yeah.
for fun.
And like Michael Bublé, I've always called him Bublier. Just rolls off the tongue better for me. Michael Bublier. I hope he comes here one time. I can get up and announce him. Okay. All right.
Oh, boy,
Our,
howdy.
our topics to ponder this week are on what is truth.
That sounds like a Jeopardy game.
What is
what
truth?
is
What
truth?
is truth?
Yeah.
Our contestants for today.
Yeah.
Anyway, we do have contestants, and that's you out there in our public.
There you
And it should be up on our
It
Facebook
is.
page right now. And today's topic to ponder.
Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
How do we determine what's true when evidence contradicts our experiences?
How do we determine what's true when evidence contradicts our experiences? I think it's just probably ever changing. You know what I mean? I mean, don't. Oh, it's true when
yes.
evidence contradicts. I don't know.
You know, there's so much going on that we hear every day. I mean, the news cycle changes. It almost changes by the hour now. It used to be a story would last a week and then it would die. Now it's like there's a new story every single day. And then you listen to the people reporting the news and you think, is that true? And you turn it to another station and they're saying something similar, but they've got a different
opinion.
opinion or take on it. and you say, is that true? And then you have to, if you care if it's true or not, then you have to do a little research. You have to go to where they've, one of the sources they said. And so, yeah, I think facts kind of outweigh. And I've said this yesterday, truth is not truth unless there's facts involved. So.
How do you
That's
determine what's true when
Yeah.
evidence contradicts, I guess, our experiences, our experience of
Yeah.
truth? Is that what you're saying?
And I think your experience would be your day-to-day existence. If you surround yourself with a bunch of people that believe a certain thing, and then all of a sudden you are outside of that
Circle of that,
influence, and you start to hear something totally different. How do you deal with that? How do you know what's true?
I know it.
It's tough.
It's tough. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I talk about God a lot on here, but that probably would be would be a good source. I mean, and a lot of times it's just my gut, but you gotta go. You do have to go look things up anymore and try to form your own opinion. And it didn't used to be that way, but maybe it should have been that way all along, probably to make us work, to find out truth and not just believe what people say, because we all know how that goes.
Well, this one is pretty deep, I know
it's way deep.
This one may be a little hard to answer.
You only had one person respond so far.
Yeah, it may be a little too tough, but you.
But
I hate to come up with a question that's just a yes or no.
right.
So you want people to say, well, I believe this, or I think this, or here's my response, or whatever.
Right.
So the question up there on our Facebook page at Around the Table is, how do you determine what's true when evidence contradicts our experiences?
Give us your thoughts.
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
All right.
And I hope you didn't have as much trouble trying to figure out what that word meant, I didn't verbalize it very well today.
What's that?
The answer.
Oh, the answer.
Yeah.
I don't think I got an answer from you, did I? You were
yeah.
you were trying to figure out what
you-
the meaning of it was.
Well, I was. I always have to go there first,
Well, that's okay.
so I interpret correctly.
Okay. Let's do some history.
Okay.
We're doomed to repeat ourselves, so let's find out what happened today in history.
To be foolish is to be human, and I was foolish. Do we apologize for being foolish? I don't know.
43 years ago, New Jersey Senator Harrison Williams resigned following his conviction in the scandal. Abscam. Is that right?
Abscam, yeah.
While claiming he'd broken no law, Williams conceded he was stupid to fall for the trap that the FBI had set for him.
The people are the strength of this country. I said I wanted them to decide about my candidacy. I got a fair hearing, and the people have decided, and now I clearly should not go forward.
37 years ago today, in 1988, former Colorado Senator Gary Hart acknowledged his second quest for the 1988 Democratic presidential nomination was kaput. An adultery scandal had cost him most of his support. Okay. That stuff doesn't work today. I mean, if somebody has an adultery thing going on and you're running for office, people just kind of look over it now.
Yeah,
but that was pretty big deal back then.
Yeah, it was. I mean, people frowned upon that.
And you wonder what kind of president he would have been,
True.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
"21 years ago, 10 bombs exploded in quick succession across the commuter rail network in Madrid, Spain, killing 191 people and wounding more than 2,000 in an attack linked to Al-Qaeda.
The whole building started shaking, and often tremors will just start and then go away, but this one just kept going and going and going, getting stronger. So we all basically dived under the desk.
14 years ago today, a 9.0 earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded, struck Japan's east coast. The quake and resulting tsunami killed almost 20,000 people. These people here felt the earth shake.
A seemingly endless wave of water, at least 13 feet high, carried cars, trucks, boats, and whole buildings as if they were toys.
Wow. This is the same on the 9.0 earthquake in Japan, and that was CBS News correspondent Lucy Kraft in Tokyo describing the tsunami that happened.
Yeah, and we got more from this one.
This is Celia Hatton in Fukushima. I'm at the local airport, which has been overwhelmed with people trying to escape the area to escape the perceived threat of a nuclear disaster. There's a 3-hour wait list just to check in for a flight.
The disaster only intensified in the days that followed as radiation leaks from the damaged Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power station.
The killing of innocent civilians is outrageous and it's unacceptable. It's not who we are as a country, and it does not represent our military.
13 years ago, 16 Afghan villagers, including children, were massacred in their homes by U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Robert Bales, who would plead guilty to the murders the following year. President Obama condemned the attacks.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
5 years ago today, with infection clusters expanding in the United States and Europe, the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus outbreak as a pandemic. WHO's Director General made that announcement.
Have you read anything about whistleblowers and stuff and saying how that had supposedly internal information on the whole virus and all that stuff? It's quite, again, that's where you, I guess, for truth, you go listen to different...
Yep, you have to these days. And you can read 9.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Dan. Thank you so much for giving that to me. Musician Bobby McFerrin was born this day in 1950. He's 75. You know him best for Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Mm-hmm. Go in there and tell your mama I love her. And don't come back here crying.
That was actor Terrence Howard. He is 56 years old today. His movie credits include Crash, The Best Man Holiday, and Iron Man. And that was him in the movie Empire.
Okay.
This Buffalo National River float.
Whoa.
I don't think we have that one.
No. Rock musicians Benji and Joel Madden of Good Charlotte and the Madden Brothers were born on this day in 1979, making them 46. The band is best known for their hit single, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
I forgot to knock that one out. Sorry, guys.
Well, there you go.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have Sonya Bruce and also Mike Nabors. They'll be in the studio. They're going to be talking about the Downtown Strategic Planning Committee.
All right.
And I saw a post about what they were doing, and it's pretty exciting. So we'll
find out all about it.
Find out about that, and it's going to be a good interview. So stick around, stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Around the Table. In the studio with us now is Mike Nabors.
Good morning.
And also Sonya Bruce. Hey, guys.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, good.
We are
Get your
good.
button pushed there. And there's been some posts on Facebook that I noticed about the Downtown Strategic Planning Committee, and I think the last time you were in here, you kind of explained what that was all about. It's kind of exciting.
Yes,
actually.
very exciting. Yeah.
And you had a meeting the other night. How did that go?
We had a meeting last night with downtown property owners and several business owners as well. Where we are now is we want to become a Main Street Arkansas community again, and we feel like that'll help us as we try to implement the strategic plan that we received for downtown last year.
Yeah.
Now, for people who don't know what the Main Street project was, can you briefly just? It was devoted to what?
It was primarily devoted to making the area more appealing to, I guess, shoppers or
Sure.
just people to be downtown and promote walkability, promote the community, community events downtown. Basically, I think it was just to provide a true sense of community in our area, to keep people here, to keep them engaged in our community. Would you say that's kind of it?
Yeah.
Mike?
And I remember when it was here. I mean, it had a nucleus of a function that the Chamber of Commerce couldn't do, and the city wasn't really active doing. So, I mean, it had its own little nucleus of activity that it was doing, and it was putting on events downtown, and it really focused on what was happening downtown.
Exactly.
And that's what we want to get back.
That's where we want to get back to. And so the strategic plan that we received has 40 or 50 implementable actions that we could take. And some of those actions are things that being a part of Main Street Arkansas, which is part of Main Street America, could help us do. So, for example, Main Street Arkansas has free design services, interior design and exterior design services. And some of the things that our strategic plan recommends involves that. So for us, it seems like the next logical step in terms of implementing the plan would be to get on board with Main Street Arkansas again.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was really cool, and they gave examples with pictures. And if you've ever watched a what do you call it, when you renovate a new home or something, or you go inside and you say, this looks okay. But then when the design person comes through and you go do a before and the after, you go, wow.
Right.
And they had some examples of that, of some downtown areas, and they were adding color and foliage and shrubs and sidewalks and just things and lighting at night. And they talk about having a very active downtown area where there's bistro, outdoor seating, and that kind of thing. It's just like, that's kind of what we need.
Right, and all those elements are part of the strategic plan that we received. So, being a part of Main Street again will help us implement that. So that's kind of the direction we're going. And we're in the process of making an application. You have to apply, and Main Street Arkansas falls under the Arkansas Heritage Commission. So you have to apply to be a member. And the application process is, the deadline is March 31st. And so what we're doing now is we're presenting to groups and individuals and organizations and trying to get endorsements. In fact, we have an endorsement in hand this morning from KHOZ.
Good.
Well, go KHOZ. Good. Good deal.
You bet.
Yeah.
Thank
So what is next? I mean, you had that meeting last night.
Right.
Was that just to make people aware of what the next step was?
Yes, we just want to make people aware. We have a steering committee. That's part of the application process. You have to have a steering committee, and we have 20 people on that committee, and that committee meets tomorrow, and it's an open meeting if anyone would like to attend. It's 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, and we're going to have that meeting at the courtroom on the second floor of the courthouse on the square. So, nice historic spot to have our steering committee meeting. And then out of that, we've been going to service clubs. We got a couple of more of those to go to, and then after that, we'll submit our application. And our application has been put together by all the people on our downtown strategic committee, and so we're excited.
Yeah.
We submit the application by the end of the month. It's an online application, and then we hope to hear from them by the end of April, early May, if we're going to be accepted as a down Main Street community.
Sonya, you're a downtown business owner, and obviously that would benefit you personally, but you see the whole big project, the whole picture.
I do. And, Mike touched on the interior design and the exterior design. That's something I see that could be so beneficial to business owners, because the interior design alone, with someone coming in and saying your traffic flow in your store would move better this way if you did this. If you did that, it would be more appealing. If you had a display, and I don't know that this is accurate, to the right rather than the left. It's all kind of simple things, but if you don't know those things, how can you do it? How can you make it more appealing to the consumer? How do you have that walkability with, just a planter outside, like you mentioned, some just
Homey.
little bits
Something
make
homey, I guess.
the whole picture huge. And we know with the strategic plan and all the 30 to 40 elements that Mike talked about, they can't all occur overnight, but putting a planter outside can happen this afternoon. I mean, so there are things that we can implement immediately.
Yeah. As a consumer, we if we're traveling across the country, we don't really think about logically if we want to stop in a certain location or not. But if we're going to buy gas, if we're traveling and we're traveling at night, we always look for a place that's got the most light and the most visibility and activity in that region. And I think that those little subliminal things that impact a consumer need to do the same thing with this strategic committee that's being put together, because it takes the guesswork out of attracting your customer, where they instinctively want to come into your business, and when they come in, they instinctively flow through the store and
perhaps people will detour through the downtown if they're traveling through, rather than
strategy.
going on the bypass and all that, because we've heard what the cool, downtown.
The city has been a great partner. The county has as well, and the Chamber of Commerce and Explore Harrison, and our partners have done a great job assisting us. You guys are probably aware that the city did a streetscape last year from the northeast corner of the square up to Prospect Street, 2 blocks, and they replaced sidewalks and put in planters and put in benches, and we're hopeful that they will continue that from Prospect over to the bypass.
Nice.
And they even have an engineer looking at the possibility of putting an archway not at the bypass, but at the Dry Jordan Bridge, which parallels the bypass, and which says historic downtown. So to your point, we want to try to begin to direct travelers to come downtown. So our focus is on getting our locals to remember downtown and begin to come back downtown, and also to get travelers as well. And one of the things we did last year was, early on we thought, well, do we want to first try to fill up the buildings, or do we want to market the ones that are there? So we have empty buildings on the square, but we also have some really thriving businesses. Sonya's is a great example. We have some really great thriving businesses. So we decided to focus first on marketing what we already have.
Okay.
And then working on the longer term.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know, Sonya has Shelby's and Sisters flower shop.
We do.
Yeah. Anyway, just throwing that out for you.
Thank you.
So
I'll
a little
take it.
plug.
So what's the next step?
Well, so becoming a Main Street community again is not the end game. It's just a step that we feel like they have services that they don't charge for. Interior design, exterior design, some business practices, services. So why not take advantage of those?
Yeah.
So we want to do that. We want to become a Main Street community, and part of becoming a Main Street community is one of the requirements is that we actually raise money and hire a at least a half-time Main Street director, a person who would actually be boots on the ground, who could begin to implement some of these items that we have in our strategic plan. But we wouldn't just say, okay, Main Street, this is yours now. We plan to continue to work with our partners to enhance downtown. You talked about traveling. So any of us who've had the opportunity to travel and get off the interstate and go into these small towns across the country, lots of small towns have revitalized their downtown. And I haven't been to a single one that's any prettier than Harrison, Arkansas. And so we know if other communities can get their downtown completely revitalized and make it the hub of the community again, that why can't we?
Yeah,
so
we should. We
that's
should be
our,
able to,
that's our attitude. Why can't we?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's great. Oh, we expect you to come back in and update us when you find that new director, or maybe bring the new director in with you. And we'll,
are y'all open to? I mean, you said you're gone to some civic groups and stuff, but are you open to talking to organizations outside of, say, the line? You know, the civic organizations.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd love to.
So if you're listening and you want to know more, and you want your maybe your employees or whatever, whoever you come in contact with, then contact.
That's a great point. We'd love to do that.
Now, does each individual business need to join this? Is there a fee, or?
There's not. There is a fee to be a part of Main Street, Arkansas. I think it's like, is it like $350?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's minimal fee, but individual businesses do not have to pay a fee to receive Main Street services. So I'm glad you asked that, because it's important for us to explain that Main Street would fall under the Historic Harrison Business Association. You have to have a sponsoring organization that's a 501c3 not-for-profit, and HHBA, Historic Harrison Business Association, is a not-for-profit. And so Main Street would fall under that board, and Main Street would also have to have its own local board of directors. So if we're approved, then we would have a board of directors, but kind of our umbrella organization would be the Historic Harrison Business Association. And so downtown businesses, many of them are members of that association. We hope that all downtown businesses will become members, but even if they don't, the services that HHBA provides and the services that Main Street Arkansas will provide will be available to members and non-members alike.
Now, is there a certain district or area that covers just the downtown? Is there somebody that may be on the Main Street that's not on the square, like Shelby's is not really on the square, but is there a region or is there a cutoff place for businesses?
So Main Street Arkansas does want us to define what we consider downtown. But it's not a hard, fast thing. So generally, this is generally speaking, it's the square and a couple of blocks surrounding the square, with some exceptions.
Okay. Well, if somebody's got a business, they can always contact
who do
the
they
downtown
contact?
Organization, I guess.
And how do they do that?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have Main Street yet, so we don't have that contact. But we do have the Historic Harrison Business Association. And who would you say would be a good contact for that?
Well, I think probably reaching out through the Facebook page would be the best way to do it, because that's monitored by Ronnie Combs.
Okay.
And so then she can kind of, I don't know, hadn't thought that through. So I would assume
we're
she
probably
can direct.
asking questions that probably need to be asked at a different time, which is
That's
fine.
But the HHBA does have a Facebook page that's active, and so that'd be a good starting point right there.
That'd be great.
Facebook page.
Okay.
All right. Guys, thanks so much for coming in.
Well, thanks for the opportunity.
Any last minute things you want to add, or are you good?
We're just very excited about the prospects. Me being the relative newbie to Harrison, only being here for 8 years, I'm just so passionate about this community and how beautiful it is and the people that are here. I'm a little jealous of all of you who have lived here for a longer amount of time and have really enjoyed that. And I'm just so excited to be a part of it right now.
We're glad you're here.
Well, good. All right, guys. If you have any information, you go to the HHBA Facebook page, or maybe call here at the station. We can direct you. Maybe if you got
Dan. Call Dan on his cell phone.
I'll direct you. I'll get you lost maybe. Thanks so much, and we want you to come back at some
Thank
point.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we look forward to it.
All right.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more from Dan and Ann from Around the Table. Stay with us. And welcome back to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. It is a Tuesday here, and the weather's going to be exceptional for the next several days.
Yes, it is.
Actually, we read out
Hoorah.
the 7-day forecast, and it's going to be good all the week. Maybe a little slight chance of rain every now and then, but
We'll see how that plays
yeah, we'll
out.
see what's happening. All right.
So, you know what? Have you
What's
ever
that?
gotten an estimate for your car and you were not happy with it?
Estimate on what?
On a
Repair?
car.
A repair or?
Yeah. Or
Oh, well, yes.
repair, or even like a trade-in type of thing.
Yeah.
Multiple people were injured over one after a customer drove through the window of CarMax in California. Of course, it happened in California, but this was no accident. Dan.
Yeah.
While authorities won't say why the person did it, witnesses posted several videos online saying the person didn't like the appraisal number they were given for their SUV, so they backed it up and rammed it through the dealership in protest. Maybe they just wanted CarMax to have a convenient drive-through window.
If they were worried about a little extra money, then do you think they eventually had to pay for that vehicle once they drove it through the window?
I would hope so.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, wouldn't they be responsible?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I would think so.
I would hope so.
People lose it more these days.
They may lose it, and then sometimes they can talk themselves out of consequences. So you don't learn a darn thing.
Nope.
Doing that.
No.
Also, have you heard of death by prostitute?
No.
Okay, well, you're going to. There was a widow suing a Vegas hotel after she says her soulmate husband died.
Oh my gosh.
During an encounter with a prostitute.
Uh-oh.
She says the owners of the Palazzo are partly to blame for allowing sex workers to roam free within that establishment. But according to the lawsuit, there is surveillance video of the husband walking around the casino with the sex worker and her pimp.
Uh-oh.
He then withdraws $1,000, goes up to his room, and the prostitute who allegedly gave him drugs and robbed him there. He was found unresponsive on the bathroom floor. Authorities say he died of a fentanyl overdose.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I didn't know he died when I did that story.
I'm
but
sure. What
dang.
do you think? They overdosed him so he'd pass out so they could take his money, I would assume,
I don't
right?
know how much money he had on him, but if he had that's just...
Yeah.
Okay, there's your... What's your takeaway from that, Dan?
Well, I've been to Las Vegas. Have you been to Las Vegas? It's a sex capital. I mean,
Sure.
they don't allow prostitution in town, but you see it all over.
Right.
You don't see the acts, but you see the girls that's the
and probably the guys too.
The full-figured girls that are wearing junior size clothes.
They're scantily clad.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But
so,
what's your takeaway though?
Don't be messing around.
There
Stay
you
at
go.
home with your wife. That's
Thank
your
you.
soulmate.
Thank
Dude.
you.
Dude. He's probably gambling though. I mean, he's drinking and all. I mean, you have to look at all the
it's Sin
circumstances.
City. It is Sin City.
Yeah,
and
but
blah,
you
blah,
should
blah.
never be so inebriated that you can't make a decision.
Think what the world would be like if that were the case.
Yeah. There's a video out of a toddler folding laundry that starts
Yay!
a war.
Oh.
That starts a mom war.
Oh.
Yeah. An innocent Instagram video of a mom teaching her toddler to fold laundry turned into a heated debate. The video shows the mom making a folding board out of cardboard and the little girl using it. She captioned the video, "Mom hack," which we love hacks, don't we? Yeah. We love all kinds of hacks.
Yeah.
It was in an effort to get their toddler to fold their laundry, which set Instagram on fire. Comments range from genius to child labor. One person berated the mom for doing chores instead of getting down on the floor and playing.
Maybe they just had.
Yeah, maybe. Parenting experts took the mom's side, though. They said the task improves motor skills and as well as the parent-child bond.
Plus the end result of responsibility.
Responsibility.
And how things happen. These things aren't magic.
Yeah. You know, when I was younger, I lived in the city and I didn't have much responsibility. I played music in my room, blah blah blah. And then during the summers I would come here to Arkansas and I stayed on the farm with my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And they would get up before the crack of dawn and go milk.
Mm-hmm.
And they would feed the chickens every morning and slop the hogs and get in the garden until the sun got too hot. And I'm like, man,
how do you
wow.
think all that responsibility and doing all that affects someone who... That was you. I mean,
yes.
I think we both grew up with... I had chores I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was part of my...
Yeah.
You know, that was just part of my daily routine. But how do you think it affects people who don't have that responsibility?
They end up like this. They complain to other people that they shouldn't be doing anything. You know, this world is.
Isn't that a little lazy-minded?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Anyway, that's what happened there.
And
And you know, the rescue dogs make up 75% of one of the Iditarod teams.
Mm-hmm.
The Iditarod kicked off, and you know what the Iditarod is? Okay, it's a mush team that goes. It's a dog team that pulls a sled across hundreds of miles.
Right.
The Iditarod kicked off this weekend in Alaska with some pretty special pups. One of the teams is the longest distance dog sled race, and it's made up of entirely of rescue dogs. Their musher is a biologist, and he's not mushing. He runs a kennel that pampers retired racing dogs. It's called Rerun. And he says it's so the dogs can run again just for fun. And you know, those kind of dogs, they get so excited to just run.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Have you ever stolen your child's ice cream back in the day? Grandkids' ice cream, any of that?
Yeah.
Well, did you get the police called on you?
No.
Okay, well, a little boy in Wisconsin called the police to scream about his ice cream. He's 4 years old, people, and he called 911, telling the cops to come get his mom and take her to jail. Turns out she'd eaten his ice cream.
Uh-oh.
The police did come to the house, and the little boy changed his mind, but the officers came again the next day and brought him what? Do you
Some
think they
ice
brought
cream.
Some ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, my. With that, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we have some more stuff for you from around the table. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. Hey, Ann,
Hey,
you know, you can have fun and save money at the same time.
How? Dan?
Runaway Mountain Coaster is maximizing your fun and value this spring.
How are they doing that?
Well, yeah, you can take a break. If you want, you can buy one and get one free tickets.
I'll take any break I can get,
See,
Dan.
Here's what we do. We go, you and I go, you buy 2 tickets, you pay for one, and I get one free. See
I
how
think
that
the
works?
role should be
Be the opposite?
Yeah, I do.
No, I never do that.
How about you buy a ticket and you get one free and you bring whoever you want, and I'll buy a ticket and get one free and bring whoever I want.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Maybe it'll work on Kelly. I'll ask her if she can buy
I don't
a
think
ticket and I'll get one free.
I don't think she's
Always
probably going to fall
looking.
for that, Dan.
I'm
Always
always-
looking for it, aren't you?
I'm always looking for it. Runaway Mountain Coaster provides a fun, relaxing ride up the hill and an all-out blast coming down. Wow.
I want somebody on here who's been on it.
Get all the details and purchase your buy one, get one free tickets at runawaybranson.com/spring break. Spring break. Some restrictions apply. I don't really know what they are, but you can check that out.
Yeah.
At Branson, runawaybranson.com/spring
break.
Perfect. Okay. All right.
All right.
Let's see. You know, we talk about Las Vegas, right?
We have.
Well, Las Vegas is one of the top business trip destinations in the United States.
Really?
Not everybody wants to work in their pajamas, you know. A new study by Uber for Business finds that 80% of the Gen Z and millennials say they love to travel for work. Of course they do.
Who wouldn't, right?
Yeah, me too. And they really like going to New York and Las Vegas, which were tied for the #1 business trip destinations. Chicago, Miami, and L.A. also made the top 5. Business trips finally returned to pre-pandemic levels in 2024. So everybody's back to
5
normal.
years. Yeah.
Supposed to be anyway.
Yeah. You know, there'll be something else. Measles is on the way.
Oh, boy. That's
They're
not
still
fun.
working. Supposedly, they're still working on stuff in Wuhan. So, this is just stuff I read. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you hear?
Hearsay.
You're going to be taking a flight here pretty soon.
I am.
Did you hear about this flight to nowhere last 10 hours because of the clogged toilets?
And thankful I'm not flying 10 hours on a plane. There was like 13 or so toilets.
How do you clog one of those toilets up?
You
I
have
mean,
to-
the hole in those things are that big.
They're not. They're
Oh.
smaller than that. Have
That
you been
big?
on a plane lately?
Yeah, but not
Okay.
lately.
They're not that big. But if people put wipes or something in there, or your paper
Oh.
towels and that kind of thing, and that's what
Oh.
messes it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Treat it as having a what's it called? Septic tank.
Septic tank. Well, they do have a little holding tank in there, don't they?
Well, yes. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't go flying out the bottom of the plane.
There's not a hole all the way through the plane. Okay. There's a flight to India that had to go back to Chicago after almost all of the toilets, not just one, but all of the toilets aboard reportedly blocked. Did they dump these things? Like, do they check them before they take off?
I would assume they empty them before you take off.
They're supposed to, right?
especially on a transatlantic flight.
Yeah. There were 12 toilets on this plane for 300 passengers, and 11 of them were clogged. They were 5 hours into the flight and had to turn around and fly another 5. Had to fly another 5 hours into the flight and had to turn around and fly another 5 hours back to the States.
Wow. That was the flight from you know where, Hades.
Flight from hell, right?
Exactly. So y'all just send positive thoughts for my flights.
Well, they say they were over Greenland and they had to turn around.
Wow, I've
That's
flown
a-
over Greenland.
ugh.
Yeah.
Well, you know what today is?
No, what is today,
It's
Dan?
the coronaversary.
Oh, let's all celebrate the coronaversary.
Yeah, 5 years behind us. That's great, the COVID pandemic. It's also National Promposal Day. Time to pop the big question for your prom.
You know, we didn't do all that back in the day. There was no promposal. I mean, you know what I mean? But it's kind of cute to see some of the things they come up with. National Johnny Appleseed Day. Did you know he is a real guy named John Chapman?
Oh,
Sure
cool,
enough,
yeah.
he is.
Mhm.
World Plumbing Day. Go get what?
Go work on that flight.
No kidding. Thomas Crapper.
Oh my gosh.
Englishman Thomas Crapper. National 311 Day. 311 is for reporting a pothole. 311 rather than 911. Don't get them confused.
What's the number for reporting a clogged toilet?
Dan? I don't know. National Theater Director.
222 is that. 222.
Oh, y'all, we'll be back tomorrow for Hump Day.
Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.